Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Forward. All right. Welcome, Heather. Welcome, Greg. We got Tara on the call and Rachel. Hello, everyone. I know there's a lot of people that can't jump in right now because it's 9 o'clock and everyone's probably out doing signings, which is awesome. I'm Mike Rudkowski, owner of Signature Signings. We're a nationwide mobile notary and loan signing service. And I just want to welcome everybody. We got Fatima on the call. Hey, Fatima. Today we're going to talk about the flow of escrow. And if you don't know what that is, stay tuned because you're going to learn a lot. This is a very fundamental concept that is going to open up a lot of doors for you if you don't fully understand it. But before we get started, I just want to recap on what we've talked about over the last couple of weeks. And the first thing was the entrepreneurial mindset. You know, just making sure you're doing the things that you need to do to get in the right frame of mind. And that means keeping busy, getting in motion. A body in motion tends to stay in motion. So wake up, get 20 minutes of cardio in. Who cares if it's a walk around the block or 40 laps in the pool or just taking your dog for a stroll or whatever it takes. Just get that blood flowing because you do that first thing in the morning. It's going to really set the tone for the rest of your day. There's this book called The Miracle Morning. I don't have the author's name off the top of my head, but it's definitely a good read. You guys should check that out. And it really talks about the steps you should take in the morning time to really set yourself up success for the whole day. And, you know, consistently, if you do that on a regular basis, you're going to notice changes in yourself. You're going to start doing things you weren't doing before. You're going to start getting off the couch and being more active, not just for your business, but for yourself and your family and your well-being overall. We also talked about daily affirmations. I personally have a long list of affirmations that I have on my phone. And usually my miracle morning starts out with me going to the gym and I'll sit in the pool or the hot tub for 10 or 20 minutes. And I'll just read through all my affirmations. Some of them are pretty standard. Some of them are very specific to me. Just to give you guys an idea, if you weren't there before, the first meeting when we talked about it, I've got a whole big long list of things that I read through here. It says for number one is put 40% of your business earnings and 50% of your bartending wages and tips in the savings. You know, that's when I was bartending. I really haven't updated that yet, but it says work out at least 30 minutes a day and eat healthy because diabetes runs in my family, and I'll not let anyone, including myself, put limits on what I can achieve. These are just things that I tell myself every day. I read through it once, make that list. You may not believe everything that you write for yourself in the beginning if you're just starting out and you're just trying to reaffirm to yourself, which is why these call it affirmations. You're pretty much reaffirming to yourself the person that you want to be or the person that you visualize yourself to be. So tell yourself these lies if that's what they are, but if that's what you want to be, eventually you're not going to believe it, but eventually you keep reading it every day. You'll start to embrace it. You'll start to internalize it. You'll start to think it, and then you'll start to become it. And once you start becoming it, you'll actually start having a positive attitude, and you'll actually start sharing that with other people, and they'll start catching on to what you're doing. And, you know, you'll just be a more pleasant person to be around while and people enjoy being with you once you start getting that kind of mindset in yourself. We also talked about creating daily goals for yourself and executing them. It could be just a phone call. Maybe you've been putting off this one phone call, or it could be one silly little task on the computer. I'll tell you what, building this business over the last 20 years, I told myself I need to do at least one thing every day to make my business just a little bit better. And I always like to use the analogy of the amazing, beautiful sunset overlooking the ocean, the beach, and every aspect of that amazing scene that we all want to, live and retire at. Consists of so many different little things: the sun, the ocean, the waves, the water, and every little speck of sand that entails the beach. And every single one of those specks, every little part of that visual picture that you have in your head, is every step that you need to take to create your retirement sunset in your business, if you will. So just a silly little analogy that I have. You can do whatever you want with that, but just try and do one little thing every single day. Eventually, you're going to start realizing that the little things aren't enough, and you're going to start doing bigger things and bigger things. But just get in the habit of trying to set at least one small goal for yourself every day, and call a realtor or knock on an escrow officer's door, or just hand deliver some goodies and say hello and give them your business card. Remember to choose relationships over money. I tell you what, it always baffles me working now as being an owner of a signing service, how people are gimme, 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 but don't want to do anything in return. They're like, how dare you only offer $100 on a signing when I know you're getting paid $175 or $200. Well, mentality I have behind that is go out there and do the work and build those relationships so that you can make $175 or $200. But also remember that the relationships you have, not just with your escrow officers and your signing services, but realtors and lenders too, those are important. And those are the people that are going to consistently feed you on a regular basis. So you create a bad attitude with them because you feel you're being treated unfairly. This is a service industry. We are meant to serve our clients. So if my escrow officer says, hey, Mike, there's not enough money in this account for escrow, but I really need you to go out and get this grant deed signed, I'm not going to say no to them. I mean, I may not have time right away, but I'm going to say, you know what? Don't worry about it, Natasha. I got you covered. I'm not going to charge her for it because I know that the relationship I have with her is worth way more than the $75 or $100 I would usually charge for going out and getting a silly little grant deed signed. And because of that, they're going to call on me every single time. And because I'm not putting up a fuss. So just remember, relationships over money. Don't chase the money, chase the relationship. Let your clients know that you are there to serve them. And not always are you going to be compensated, but the residual income you're going to have over the long term by creating that relationship is going to be way more important than this silly little signing fees you're going to get in comparison. And the last thing that we talked about was reality versus perception. Your perception doesn't always equal other people's realities. I hear so many people put these mental blocks in their mind that, oh, that person doesn't like me because they never acknowledge me when I go into the office. That's your perception. But the reality probably is they're just so busy that they don't have the time to acknowledge you. So make the incentive of finding out exactly really what the situation is before you just make this false perception in your mind of what somebody else's reality is and how it's different. Don't put those mental blocks, just those negative things that we often say to ourselves. There's another book I've read called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. I would also recommend reading that book. It really helps with getting past those mental blocks about the things that you tell yourself to stop you from doing the things you need to do to be successful in this business. So those are just a few things we talked about. I'm going to head over our meeting to Robin Woods. He's with Gold Financial. He's my preferred mortgage lender, and he's going to give us a little market update about what's happening in the mortgage market right now. Usually I hold him to the end so he can work, but he's got a meeting a little bit later, so we're going to get him started right now. Robin, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Good morning, everybody.
Hey,
Just
San
wanted,
Francisco.
yeah, that's right. Flying out of there tomorrow, so I'm just looking forward to that,
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. Wanted
Thank you.
to give a quick mortgage market update. So, the most recent Mortgage Bankers Association data for mortgage applications that shows purchases up about 7% from the previous week. This was due to interest rates seeing a modest decline from 6.8 to about 6.7%.
Nice.
This is about 3% more than this time last year. We did also see refinances rise about 5% last week, so starting to see a little bit of pickup in applications. Currently, rates are up a little bit from there, closer to 7%. Mortgage bonds are trying to figure out what's going on, the impact of the banking crisis we've been seeing. Looking forward to where we see mortgage rates continuing, we see a downward trend this year as inflation continues to abate. This has been the primary driver of mortgage rates. An important date I really want you to circle on your calendar is May 10th. And so what's going to happen on that date is we're going to get April's CPI, Consumer Price Index inflation report. And that day is going to begin a 3-month stretch where the housing portion of inflation, around 30% of that number, is going to start to come down significantly. And so that'll be 3 months in a row right there. While we don't necessarily see rates declining in a straight line, we see Q3, Q4 of this year, it's reasonable to see interest rates 30-year fixed in the low 5s. So
Nice.
That's what's going on in mortgage.
Excited about that. Thank you so much, Robin.
Yep, my pleasure.
All right, well, have a safe trip to San Francisco tomorrow. Hope it's not all work.
Oh yeah, it's all flight to Cancun. So
oh wow,
great.
I just got back from there.
That's right.
Beautiful. It was beautiful. So enjoy the weather while you got it, because I brought it back a little bit of sun with me to Cancun, but the last couple of days haven't been that great here in California. And I know I'm probably still bragging to some of you people that are online here. I know Tara in Michigan, she's living in the snow right now. So I'm glad you're in California still, but enjoy your trip to Cancun, guys, or Robin. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. We're going to get in here to the fundamentals of what we call the flow of escrow. And what it is really just breaking down this whole entire fundamental picture that I've got here in front of you. It includes triangles and squares and circles and stick figures. I even got a little tree and house there that paid off from taking art class in my sophomore year. But I'm gonna get this chair out of the way and kind of break down the fundamentals of how understanding the flow of escrow here can help you with your loan signing business. All right, I just want to make sure that I got everything in the picture, including myself here. So I did this last night, so I didn't have to draw in front of you guys today. I can really just talk about it and go over it. So us as signing agents, our main portion of business isn't general notary work. It's from doing loan signings, which means there's a transaction going in place between a buyer and a seller. So we've got our buyer right here, and we've got our seller right here. And this is our seller's house, and this is the buyer wants to buy this house, obviously. And just about in every transaction, the buyer and the seller are being represented by a real estate agent. So we've got our agents here. So we'll write real estate agent. That's the buyer's agent. This is the listing agent, they call it. And the listing agent represents the seller, obviously. The buyer's agent represents the buyer. in making sure they get together and have a good contract in regards to purchasing this home. So maybe they finally agree on a purchase price of $500,000 on this home, which here in California really isn't that much in comparison to some of you across the country, I know. But what happens is once these two decide that they have a contract in place, or even beforehand, actually, once the seller decides that they want to sell their house, these two create a contract between themselves where the agent says, I will work for you and I will help you sell your house, and they'll negotiate terms in regards to percentages of what they're going to charge in commissions and so on and so forth. We'll say 2.5%. That's the standard on each side, to 3% actually. And as soon as this agent creates a contract with the seller, this agent's going to go and open up what's called an escrow account. This is the title or escrow company right here. Title/escrow. And these are their escrow officers. Now, most title escrow companies and listing agents have some sort of relationship. Usually there's one person in the middle here called a title rep that goes out and helps create relationships between real estate agents and the title and escrow companies. So this person right here is really a very important person to know when it comes to building your loan signing business, because these guys are the ones that are out there at the networking mixers and at the brunches and the lunches and all the other things. They're the ones actually putting in a lot of work to build some relationships with these agents. And if you can get in with them, they can make create a lot of connections for you with the agents. So once a listing agent opens up an escrow account, the title company or escrow company's job is to make sure that when this transaction is closed on the purchase of this home, there are no liens associated with the property, meaning the loan that maybe the current owner has on the property is going to be paid off, that there's no other rights of ownership by the brother's dad's uncle's cousin somehow because they gave them so much money way back when they first bought the property. They want to make sure that there's no utility bills or any forbearances or anything associated with the property. So that's it fundamentally. And I mean, I'm just giving you guys very fundamental ideology of what these people do. They do a lot more than that, but just in basic terms, their job is to make sure that everyone's paid. They actually act as fiduciaries between the buyer and the seller, meaning they hold all the funds. This $500,000 they're buying the house for, they're going to hold the money here until both parties are in complete agreement, meaning all stipulations have been lifted, all work has been done on the home before they decide to close the deal. And that's really what the title and escrow company's job is fundamentally again. Now, once they're ready to close on this deal, the title and escrow company is going to reach out to our notary. So this is our notary right here. And they're going to pretty much say, hey, we've got a signing for you. We have a job. We need you to go out and notarize documents between the buyer and the mortgage company. So we got a mortgage company right here because most likely the buyer is going to have to get a loan on this home for $500,000. So we got our mortgage company right here. I'll just put mortgage/lender. And obviously the mortgage company lenders is represented by loan officers. So we got our loan officers here working, and there's transaction coordinators, and there's mortgage assistants and loan processors. There's all kinds of people that work in the mortgage side of it all to get everything set up so that this buyer can get the $500,000 that they need to buy this house. So once the buyer's probably already gone through the process of getting pre-approval with the mortgage company saying that, hey, I want to how much money can I qualify to buy a home? And the lender's gonna say, you know what, we can get you a $500,000 loan based off your credit and income and all that great stuff. Great, great, great. So they apply. And once they have a solid plan in place to get them that money, we're going to close the deal. So the title company is going to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Notary, we need you to come out and get our buyer signed. We also need to go out and get the seller signed for the transaction to take place. Typically, the title company is going to pay this notary about $175 to $200 for going out and getting this buyer signed or this seller signed. Seller is sometimes a little bit less, maybe 150 to 175. Okay, that's not a bad day's work, because typically if you know what you're doing, you're going to be able to knock out a seller signing in 20 to 30 minutes. On the buyer side, it's a little bit thicker of a package because there's loan documents associated with the transaction. There's going to be a lot more notarizations, which is why they usually pay a little bit more. And that's going to probably take you 30 to 45 minutes if you know it. Again, if you know what you're doing. A lot of times, especially here in California, where I know a ton of us are moving out. There's so many people out here moving to Tennessee. Just over the last year or two, I've had probably 5, 6, 7 people move out of California to Iowa, to Texas, to Tennessee. I mean, they're going to Michigan. They're going everywhere. But what happens is they still have homes here and they need a signing agent somewhere in wherever it is they're living now. When that happens, obviously, you have a direct relationship with the title and escrow company, but if the signing's in Florida, obviously you're not going to be able to do that signing. So in that case, title companies often go to what's called a signing service, like signature signings. I like to use SIG for short for signature signings, SIGs, but we'll call it a signing service. And what the signing service does is they have notaries all over the country. So just like signature signings now, we have a network of over 60,000 notaries that we can contact in regards to getting the transactions done for our title and escrow clients. And I can send a mass text message out to notaries in Florida if I need to. And I'll say, hey, I'll send you some work and I'll pay you $100. And that's how the title company makes their money. They keep the difference. So if they're getting paid $175, which is the fee doesn't change, 175 goes to the signing service, and then we send $100 to the notary. The title companies or the signing service is making $75. Simple math, right? And then after they pay their admin and their insurance and everything, all that and all the expenses, maybe they're making $25, $50, something like that. But this is the whole entire picture. If you guys take a look at it, we've got relationships with listing agents and buyers agents that we can make as signing agents. But if you think about it, how many transactions do realtors really close? A good one on average that I've worked with, probably 3 to 4 a month. Now, if you're only doing 3 to 4 a month signings a month, you're probably not going to survive in this business. So you'd probably need to have at least 10 to 15 good real estate agents giving you 3 to 4 signings a month just to survive in this business. So I'm not saying not having relationships with realtors is bad, but it's not great. They can't be your only source of income. Mortgage lenders right now, mortgage lenders have no decision in telling who the title and escrow company is going to be unless they're doing a refinance. So if this was a refinance, let's say this seller isn't a seller, they're looking to get a better term on their loan, they would go to the lender, and the lender would be the one to choose the title and escrow company. So these title reps are often working with mortgage lenders too. Right now, because interest rates are up significantly higher than they were last year, there's not a whole lot of refinancing going on. The only reason I can really think about people refinancing is if, inflation is caught up to them and their credit card debts are maxed out and they need to pull some equity out of their homes. That's really the only reason I can think, or maybe they're pulling money out for their daughter's wedding or something like that. But it really makes no financial sense if you already have yourself a nice 3.5% like we are getting over the last year or two, to do any kind of refinancing right now, unless you have a very, very good reason for it. So there's not much of a refinance market right now, but when interest rates drop down and significantly over the next year or two, hopefully, as Robin had mentioned earlier, having these mortgage lenders on your side is going to be great, because I want you guys to understand something. These title and escrow companies, they are ultimately not your number one client. These real estate agents, these lenders, these are the ones that choose the title and escrow company. So when they choose a title and escrow company, they also have the choice of who's going to be their signing agent. So I say, get relationships with these guys. Granted, there's not going to be as much opportunity, but they are going to have a say in who does the signing for the title and escrow company. And if you're not a preferred signing agent with the certain title and escrow companies in your area, these people, the real estate agents and the lenders, are going to be the ones that open these doors for you. And these are a lot more accessible type people than the title and escrow companies, because when they're hustling, they don't have time to talk to you, which is why it's also great to talk to a title rep and get them to open the door for you. Maybe to set up a day to take lunch into the office, or say, hey, you know what, this escrow officer that I work with doesn't have a preferred signing agent that they use. And this is really why I want you to understand the whole flow of escrow, to understand where you can get your opportunities from. Obviously, there's opportunities everywhere. And one thing we really haven't gotten into is how signing services like signature signings can really help you as well. And that's because if you take a look at all these notaries here that are working for the signing service, they're not just working for signature signings. They're working for coast to coast. They're working for signature closers and every other signing service under the sun. And they're probably also out there building direct relationships with other title and escrow companies. But like I said, I've been doing this now for 20 years, or I've been in the business for 21 years now. And I've made a lot of money having direct relationships with title and escrow companies, but nothing upset me more than telling my client no, because I'm only one person that can be in one place at one time. They'll be like, hey, Mike, can you do 3 o'clock on Wednesday? I'm like, dang, I'm already booked with another client. So because I was able to create so much opportunity for myself and wasn't able to capitalize on it, I really got tired of saying no, which is why I created Signature Signings, so that I could start sharing these opportunities that I created for myself with other notaries, not just in my local area, but across the country. And now imagine if every single one of these signing agents was doing the same thing that I was doing, creating these direct relationships. But when they're title and escrow companies, so they've got a triangle over here, they've got a square, and they've got a circle over here. You know, every single one of these notaries across the country has the same business model of direct people that they work with. But when these notaries have a signing opportunity out of their area, they're not capitalizing on it unless they have a signing service. And let me tell you, it's taken me years to figure out and to build Signature Signings. And the way I want to differentiate Signature Signings from any other signing services, I want to help build up these notaries. I want to give them the tools and resources that they need to be the best signing agents they can be in their local area. So if you guys haven't checked out signaturescience.com and signed up for a free account there, we have tons of tools. We have tons of resources that talk about the flow of escrow, rescission calendars, all the different notary handbooks across the nation. There's tons of tools on there. There's a goal worksheet that helps you focus on your goals, how to create them, what to do to get to where you want to be. There's just tons of resources on there. It also shows like some of our other notaries within our network, how many signing opportunities they've shared with our network. And nobody wants to do anything for free. We all want to get paid for our efforts, right? So I've never heard of another signing service doing this, but we are pretty much allowing all of our signing agents to use signature signings as their signing service. And so every opportunity that you have to say no to, if you can get your lender or realtor or escrow officer to send that opportunity through us, we're going to pay you $25. And then what's going to happen is we're going to take that signing opportunity and we're going to give it to one of our notaries over here. And we're going to pay them $100. And obviously you make a little bit of money off the relationships that you've created with the title reps, with the real estate agents, with your title and escrow or mortgage lenders within your local area. And when they have signings that are out of the area, you start to benefit from referring that work to Signature Signings. And we pretty much work as a liaison, if you will, between getting that opportunity from your client to one of our other amazing signing agents. And if you haven't gone to our website yet, we vet every single one of these signing agents. I never had a mentor like Mark Wills or Bill Soroka or Carol with Notary to Pro. I never had anybody like that. Everything I learned, I had to learn the hard way. Unfortunately, I went to the school of hard knocks, and I just thought to myself, I want to help people find the same success that I've been able to find in this business, which is why I'm here. I'm not getting paid to do this for you guys today. I want to share my knowledge with you guys in hopes that we can create a network to create opportunity for each other and share opportunity with each other through Signature Signings platform. And so this is what this is really all about. I don't want to take up a ton of time, but if you haven't been to signaturescience.com, I want you guys to, if you're already signing agents, to go to option 5. It says, how may we help you? Select option 5 and take our vetting quiz. Now, this quiz is based off of experience. It's not about what you learned through the LSS or the N2P or any other training course out there. This is really about being an experienced signing agent. So the questions on this test are based off your real world experience. It's not going to be just textbook type questions. It's going to be real world situations about being in the signing. What are you going to do with this? How do you explain that? So even if you don't have a lot of experience, I still want you to take the test so that you can get an understanding of what it is we're looking for. Because when our signing agents within our network are referring their clients out of various signings or signings they can't do, we want you to know that you're being represented by somebody that knows what the heck they're doing, which is why we vet all of our signing agents. And which is also why I do this training for free, because I want to create the best signing agents we can and make sure that they're representing our clients the best way we can. And so I hope that makes sense. And that's why I'm here every Tuesday at 9 a.m. grinding and trying to get you guys to motivate and inspire yourselves to build your own business. And then all the excess opportunity that you've created, like I was able to do, share it with our network. Signature Signings isn't just a signing service. We are a network. And we're a team. So it's about creating and sharing opportunities with each other. So that's really all I've got for you guys today. Just remember the relationships between the title and escrow companies and the listing and buyers agents, the mortgage lenders. Start building these relationships now, because since interest rates are up, they're a lot slower than they were before. They're gonna have the time to meet with you. It doesn't take a lot to get your foot in the door with these title and escrow companies. A $5 box of Danishes once a week in the morning time with a business card. Same thing with the mortgage companies. You know, once the interest rates come down a little bit, everyone that's buying a house right now is gonna refinance. And there's been so many people that I have seen over and over and again over the years because they've refinanced in and out of their homes and gotten new loans. It's just a crazy world out there, how much money people spend, and then they go and pull the equity out of their homes and reset their loan. And you know, that's none of our business as financial advisors or anything, but I see a lot of the same people over and over and over again, which creates opportunity for us as signing agents. So anyways, signaturescience.com, select option 5, take our vetting quiz. And also, if you want to open up your own referral link on signaturescience.com where your clients can refer their out of area signings or signings that you personally can't do directly to Signature Signs to share with other notaries with our network, email me admin@signaturescience.com, admin@signaturescience.com, and we will set you up with an account. And any users that you want to add to your account, when they put their order in through Signature Signings, you will get credit for that. And then once a month, we're going to take however many signings your clients sent through Signature Signings, and we're going to multiply that by $25, and you'll get paid. And we can also set up direct deposit. I believe the direct deposit forms on our notary resource or our membership resources page once you create your free account on signaturescience.com as well. So anyways, I hope you guys found that educational. I want to open up the floor to see if anybody has any questions or concerns about something I might be able to address. Let's see, is there a problem with the audio? I am able to hear okay. Okay. Anybody have any questions or anything? You can unmute yourself and jump on in there. All right. Well, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm going to get this video posted. Please feel free to share with any of your other signing agent friends that you may know. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. Not sure what we're going to talk about yet, but I'll think about it and I'll be posting in our Facebook group. You guys have a great day. Go out there, do something, do one thing today to make your business a little bit better. Get educated, get some exercise, reaffirm to yourself that you're an amazing person and that you're going to be the amazing person you want to be as a professional signing agent for yourself and Signature Signings. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.